Ladies and gentlemen, I am Jimbo the Fuzzy, and welcome back to Sid Meier's Civilization 6. When we left off, we were a little sad about losing Zanzibar. They were a good trade partner. And it looks like the Aztecs are really going on a sprawling city building rampage. I think rampage is the right word for it, given how they're just putting cities everywhere. Kabul wants us to trigger an inspiration for guilds, which we can do the moment we buy the bank in this commercial hub. Other than that, we just need more envoys. We're gonna get one in 3 turns. And I think it's also time to think about what government we're gonna go with next. Never mind. We'll look at that in a little bit. Once medieval affairs finishes up. Meantime, we're about to get education done. But Damascus needs an aqueduct. And I think the appropriate place to put it is right here. I think. But I say that and then I remember this place gets a production bonus and extra to mines. I was thinking we could use this for maybe the Forbidden City wonder, if need be. But I suppose I could put that over here in Hutton. Or down in... not sure about down in Cairo. I might want to put farms there. Maybe Mecca. Mecca might just have the population to handle it. But this is hills. This is plains. Let's go here. Yes, we removed the woods. I know. I'm sorry. That'll be done in a few turns. Then the city can start growing again. And now we can watch what horrible damage the Aztecs are going to wreak on the rest of the world.
The purpose of education is to replace an empty mind with an open one.
Alright. What's our next research tech? Well, let's see. I'm not gonna get anything down there. Castles would be nice if we could get a better government. Banking would not be bad. And we got the boost to mass production. We don't have celestial navigation yet. We really need to get that at some point. Shipbuilding might be useful. No. Maybe. Smoke for all naval units or +1 trade route capacity. And gold. Well, they both give gold. That's actually a hard choice. I'm actually gonna start on shipbuilding. Just so I can get up to mass production, I think. Well, no. Mass production doesn't really give me anything, right? L gives me access to industrialization. And industrialization gives me access to the Ruhr Valley, and that's something I do want. However, at the same time, there's an armory. I'm going to need to put armories and encampments. We're also going to need to build some Mamluks. Let's just go for castles. Get medieval walls. And that'll also give us access to Alhambra. There we go. Now we can move our builder to... No, we cannot move our builder to... Darn it. Fine, skip turn. Mecca, choose production. We don't have the money to buy to the tile. Get a shrine, I think. Maybe. No, get a market. That'll trigger guilds and get us some friends. No. Okay, Great People. How are we doing on the Great Prophet? We're getting 4 points per turn. Aztecs are getting 4 points per turn. We're getting 3 points per turn. The Aztecs are getting 4. So the Aztecs would beat us there. Which doesn't make me happy. Let's get the shrine. I don't want to get the watermill. No, I don't want to get the watermill because I don't have the population for it. Except I also don't have the population. I don't have the housing capacity for anybody more. Housing from improvements, I've got 2. Farm, fishing boats, pasture, plantation, camp. Farm. That's a plantation, that's a plantation. That would be a plantation if I... Really, I just need some money to expand the borders and start getting more of this stuff. Alright, I'm going to build the shrine. Just because I want to mess with the Aztecs. Now, barracks are stable. The issue, I suppose I should say, is whether or not I want to focus on building my cavalry here or over here. And which one of these cities is going to be the cavalry producer, and which one of these is going to be the infantry producer? Because both of them give housing and production, citizen great. They're all the same, but one gives bonus to cavalry and one gives bonus to infantry. The armory gives bonus to everything. Our special unit, last I checked, is a cavalry. The Mamluk. Yes, it's heavy cavalry. It takes 8 turns to build. So that will take a while. This would give bonus combat experience. I think that's how much it gets from combat. Yeah. Well, what I mean is it doesn't get any starting bonus, but it's going to level up faster, which would be really nice. So the cavalry's going to be one of our main things. I think we're going to focus more on cavalry than on infantry in the long run. But in the meantime, I'm going to add a barracks, I think. Yeah, let's put in the barracks. Actually, let's put in the granary. Bonus housing. Need it. Well, no. Barracks gets us production. Armory also gets us production, but the armory does not get us any housing. So barracks here. And now our warrior, who is up here. See if there's anything over here, and can I see to the city? No. Not quite. Damascus does need more housing. I would have solved that problem this turn, except there's this tiny issue of an apostle being in the way, running through my territory. Did I get it up because of... Okay, I did add 1 because of an improvement. I am gonna need to add a farm here, which means buying 1 more tile. And then I'll just send him down to the crabs and have him build there, and that'll expend that builder. That's my trade unit.
All that glisters is not gold. Often have you heard that told.
Alright, now we got some civics here. Men and a quarter would be good for a bit. Yeah, let's take a quick look at the governments. Do we want to get faith purchase discounts? Because it looks like we're going to have a decent amount of faith production. And that would let us... Well, that would get +5 religious strength and theological combat, so we could wipe out some of the enemy units. Or we could get bonus trade routes down here, and we know how good trade routes are. Also gives us discount on gold purchases. Monarchy is bonus housing for having walls. And that's a really good upgrade. It also gives us bonus influence. So it means we get envoys faster. Although it is pretty heavily focused on the military, the Merchant Republic is the most flexible out of all of them and has the most wildcard policies. Theocracy and Monarchy only have the 1 wildcard. Theocracy has 2 economic policies. And then where do I want to go from that? And then where do I want to go from here? Unit production, maybe. kind of like communism just because it gets bonus when defending, and you get a bonus to all production. A democracy lets you get a lot of great people out fairly quickly, looks like. So democracy is about getting great people, communism is about being defensive and economic, and fascism is about being militaristic. Okay, so we know where our end game is, and that's going to be communism. And one thing I noticed is that the envoys are supposed to come about every 30 turns. With the tier 1 governments, well, okay. With the chiefdom, it's 100 turns in order to have you get up to one of these. Then you get 3 influence per turn, and once you get up to 100 total, you get an envoy. Everything left over carries over, so it's going to be 34, 33, 33, so, about 30 turns. Little over. Then here you get 5 per turn, and when you get 150, you get 2 envoys, which is, again, 30 turns. Up here, you get 7 points per turn. 30 turns would be 210, you need 200, so that's just under 30 turns. So it is going down a little bit, and you get more envoys per. But I just thought it was interesting that you're getting about the same rate across all of it. And next turn we get another envoy. I don't know how we're getting tourism. I think Merchant Republic may be our way to go. Just because it seems like it's really easy to get gold. So getting discounts from gold purchases would be nice. On the other hand, Theocracy lets us buy land combat units with faith. We may need to get an army up relatively quickly. A decent size to fight off the Aztecs here. So, all 3 of them have their advantages. But Theocracy, we're not going to be able to get that boost. Right at Monarchy. So it'll give us bonus housing, but we're going to run into housing problems later in that case when we shift away from it. Not that that's necessarily terrible. Alright. If we want Merchant Republic, we need to get we would need mercenaries first. Which gives us the professional army, which gives a 50% discount on all unit upgrades. Once we've put down our encampments and we don't need that 30% boost anymore, then having the 50% discount on unit upgrades is going to be nice. But 8 land combat units in your military. How many do we have now? 4. So I need to get the encampment up. Then I would need to get up the stable, and then the armory, and then I would need to build 4 Mamluks. Chances of getting that are really, really low. Guilds, am I working on that? not yet, because I'm more worried about Mecca and getting great profit points. Cairo is getting its encampment up. Yeah, I think it'll be okay. I think. So... I'm not gonna get those land combat units, and the extra 4.5 turns isn't really worth it. So... well, diplomatic service lets us get an embassy. That's just off guilds, though, so I need to get guilds before I can do that, and that's not happening soon. Privateers. I'm gonna go for the Merchant Republic. Even if I'm not gonna get any of the boosts along the way. And yeah, they're really useful, but so no, I can't see Moscow. Alright then. That's kinda depressing. And unless there's a hill right here. You come over here, build me a farm. That gives Damascus 10 housing capacity and more food production. Damascus is working at least one of those, so that's good. And the next stop is to come down here. So he's buying another tile, which I can't even afford right now. So I'm gonna actually have you come to these crabs just to get that inspiration boost. However, that will have to wait for next time. We've come to the end of this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I have been Jim with the Fuzzy, and I hope to see you again next time.